I'm Deepika, founder of PatternReview.com, and welcome to our first, what are we calling it? Video podcast. I actually don't know what this is going to evolve into, but I'm really happy to be here. And today is a special day because today is November 28th, Pattern Review's anniversary, and today is a special one. It is our 20th year, you guys. I don't know how that happened, but I am so grateful to see where the site it is today and to connect with all of you members worldwide, 500,000 plus and growing. And so congratulations to you, to all of us, for sharing our craft of sewing. So Laura and I used to do Instagram live chats a couple of years ago, and then the pandemic happened, so that kind of didn't happen, but we both miss it. And I know some of you have written to us saying that you also miss it. So this is a new format we're trying out just to kind of pre-film it, answering some of your questions, sharing some site news. And yeah, and then we plan to put it up on YouTube and see where this goes. But for now, welcome. Thank you for being here. And thank you for sending in your questions. So let me get started. Hi, Deepika. I'd like to know your experience on keeping your sewing mojo alive during the hectic holidays. What projects are quick and fulfilling, and when you have little time and even less access to a machine, garments, or other projects. So this is a really timely question as we're heading into the holidays. We have some time and we want to make maybe handmade gifts. I am not the best person to come to for Sewing Mojo because mine, like most of you, goes up and down. But I can possibly give you some examples of things I have made when I'm not necessarily sewing a lot of garments or I don't have the desire to make a big project. So some handbags. Lazy Girl Design has some cute little key fobs, and a lot of the times I find that people are wanting less and less and fewer things and more meaningful objects. So maybe pick a fabric which is of some significance to you or the person you're gifting. And like, for example, I went on a hike with my really good friend, and I had this tradition of making something for her birthday. So this year I made her a knitting bag. We both also enjoy knitting. So I made her, I'm gonna show you what mine looks like. This is my knitting bag, and I love it. It's actually a very quick pattern to sew. There is no lining, but it's beautifully finished. So this is a grain line pattern, and when it was released, I was just extremely excited to finally have a pattern for a knitting bag which stands up and it's easy to sew. So this is an example of something quick you could make for someone. But for the most part, I want to encourage you to be kind to yourself. If you want to take some time and away from sewing, that's completely fine. As far as not having access to a sewing machine, you know I love to sew reverse applique and negative reverse applique. This is a jacket I am wearing, so this is a great hand sewing project you could bring with you. Put everything in your bag and bring it with you. So I hope that's helpful. I'm going to move on to the next question. Hi Deepika, thank you so much for creating Pattern Review and making it free. So grateful for this support group of fellow sewers. My question is, have you ever fantasized of doing a sewing camp like Martha Pullen used to do several times a year? Absolutely. I have many times, and we're going on 20 years now. I just love bringing people together, and bringing sewing people together is icing on the cake. So I'm not entirely familiar with what Martha's camp looked like, but we have tried a few different things over the years. We've tried doing a workshop with Kenneth King, in-person workshop where we invited people over to Massachusetts, where I am. And it was like a 2-day intensive workshop on moulage. Then there was a pants making workshop. In the end, though, we decided that we're not in the business of events. Planning a camp like that takes a lot of time and resources, and it was just taking us away from our vision, from our goal of having a place where people can connect online. So for now, we are not going to focus our energy on sewing camps, but we love PR Weekends. It's our yearly conference, which we host in a different city. Pandemic makes it hard to continue to do that, but hopefully, fingers crossed, next year we will celebrate PatternReview's 21st year. But we just have to wait and watch, and I am just so grateful that we can still connect online. So I hope that's not too disappointing for you. But there are lots and lots of people who are doing sewing camps, and I might actually even dig up some of the resources and put it down in the description box. This whole thing is new to me, so this YouTube video thing, so we will just have to see how it goes. But yes, I have fantasized about it many times. Next question. Everything you review on PR looks so good on you. How do you manage to have so many home runs in your sewing project? You are so sweet. This question made me really smile because just like you, I have many failures, and I hope that does come through on Pattern Review because I pretty much review every single thing I make. And so home runs, I think I have been sewing 20 years, and a lot of you have been sewing for more than that, many more years than that. I think part of for me is trying to figure out which styles of garments I enjoy wearing, and a lot of us got into sewing because we want to make clothes which make us feel like ourselves. For me, that is important that the types of clothes I wear and I make, they fit me. Fit is a very important thing for me when I make something. And secondly, I want to feel very comfortable. So what has happened over the years is even though I love watching trends, I love following trends, especially on Pattern Review, what you all are making from, does anyone remember, what was that called? This is gonna bug me. Was it a Doro dress? The one which had like bands coming here, and then there was a band here on the waist. It was so popular. Then there was this twist top, and then the Year of the Statement sleeves, jumpsuits, and there's so many more trends which have I've seen them on PR and beyond. For me though, I try to stick to more classic styles, and I think what happens over the years is even though I'm not sewing, I'm able to wear my garments for a much longer time. That said, I have experimented with trends like the cold shoulder top, and I will tell you, I did review it on PR, but I tried it on a few times. Somehow it just didn't feel right on me. So I have given that top away to a friend who does enjoy wearing it a lot. I've given away clothes which I thought I would wear a lot, but I didn't end up using, or they stopped fitting me because my body changed. So I passed it on to a friend. That makes me really happy. This top you are seeing in the back, actually, it started off by, what was it? I think it was a waterfall cardigan. Yes, it was a McCall's pattern. which was just kind of like a waterfall cardigan. And what happened is it kept falling off my shoulders. So it just kept bothering me that I had to keep doing that. So I upcycled it. I made it into this top. I still don't like it. I still don't end up wearing it. So we all have failures, we all have wins, and we all have things we like and don't like. I think for me, it's important that I just jump in and make something, and then whether or not I end up wearing it, it's another issue. But thank you. Hi Deepika, I love your idea for a video podcast. My question is, do you have any suggestions for getting back your sewing mojo? I seem to have lost mine since we have been so isolated. This is actually a question which was asked quite a number of times. So I'm gonna ask another one. Do you ever experience the doldrums in sewing, a period of time when it's difficult to motivate yourself? If so, do you have a strategy to kick it up a gear? So I will admit that, and I'm being very honest with you, since the pandemic, even though I started off by thinking that, oh my God, I'm gonna have so much time to sew new things, I did not. I cannot tell you how much it bugs me that I am not sewing, and I think at all. When I say at all, I mean at all. I've probably only sewn masks in the last year and a half, and maybe 2 or 3 garments. Maybe I think I squeezed out a McCall 6886 because I just wanted, like you said, a home run. I just wanted a style which worked for me. I'd made this pattern a few times and I needed to see if I could still sew. I am not the only one, and neither are you. The pandemic has brought on a lot of fatigue. A lot of us are trying to reevaluate what type of clothes we end up needing. And for me though, I don't know whether it's all that mask sewing or the fact that I was so extremely busy and tired and exhausted that the idea of just like starting something from scratch, cutting out a pattern and making something which I didn't need to wear too much because we weren't really going anywhere. Maybe that kind of killed it for me for a little bit. But I will tell you what did work for me. Sewing for me and creating is just so important. So I motivated myself to take out all of my hand sewing garments, which I started, and power through them. And during the pandemic, I think I finished 1, 2, 3, maybe four hand sewing projects. And this jacket is one of them. I'm going to show you. And so this was my pandemic project. It took me a long time to cut out, stencil, paint, stitch, and then sew. But I was in no rush whatsoever. What I also ended up doing is I ended up taking a lot of, because we started offering Zoom classes on Pattern Review. This is a format which really worked for me, and as it is for a lot of you. So I took a lot of different classes. I'll tell you this one, embroidery, and I even took a quilt making class. So I made, let's see if I can show you. This is all works in progress, by the way. None of them are finished, and that's quite okay. But I had never quilted before, so this is okay. I think this is gone on like that. All right, so this type of quilting is called this is hand quilting, and this is a Sindhi quilt taught by this really amazing woman, and what is her name? Sujata Shah. And if anyone's interested in taking this class with her, I will pop a link. But yeah, so I ended up finishing a lot of those things which I had started earlier, and kind of put all my energy into that because I needed to make sure that I finished what I started. But here's something you'd love to see, and this is my box of all of the projects I have cut out and put into neat little baggies. Well, that bag's empty. This is a True Bias Southport dress. This is another True Bias pattern. This is a Lodo dress. This is Jolie Nikita pattern. Remember when it first came out? Then I have some mending projects, Jolie top, and it goes on, you guys. So even though I have this box filled with projects I could just take out a bag and start sewing, somehow I'm not able to do so. Different strategies work for different people. I can give you a few strategies on Pattern Review which have worked sometimes for me and for a lot of other people. There is a forum which talks about 10, 20, 30 minutes of sewing. You could take a contest. You can participate in a contest and join others in making something. What else? What else can we do? You can always read reviews. That always inspires me. But I'm just gonna say that, trying different types of sewing, maybe that could be a fun thing for you. For me, in the winter time, I tend to do a lot more knitting, so I have really thrown myself a lot into knitting, and I can actually, this is a sewing podcast, video cast, what are we calling it? But I'm going to show you my mittens, which I'm almost finished with. So this is really exciting for me. But yeah, I think a lot of us have experienced the sewing mojo or lack thereof. And, my advice is to either just kind of allow yourself to take that break, or try when you are ready to sew, try maybe hand sewing, try a different type of sewing, pick up a new pattern, buy a new pattern, shop your stash, pull out a special piece of fabric, maybe make a small thing and see if that works for you. I'd love to hear what else people are doing to recharge themselves in terms of sewing. I think I want to keep this kind of like under 30 minutes. So I'm going to take this last question. And this is my absolute favorite question. And actually did get a chance to think about it, what I want to say in that. But to the person to the member who wrote this question, thank you so much. And how does PR stay so kind? I have heard that a similar online community ended over political wrangling. Have you got particular guidelines and informal practices? Can we bottle it and distribute it worldwide? First of all, I am so glad that you feel safe, you feel happy, you feel the kindness on Pattern Review, because it is absolutely intentional. And how does PR remain so kind? And whether or not we can bottle it and distribute it worldwide, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I think there is no easy answer to this, except that when you make kindness and positivity your mission and your vision, you do everything you need to make it possible. It often comes at some sacrifices, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, this is what is needed. I think for the most part, I like to learn from my mistakes. I like to surround myself with people whose vision is aligned with mine, who are kind, who are people who boost and lift me up, and not just me but others, and who are truly in it. And I think there is only one way around this, is to just kind of make this your mission statement, that this is going to be an inclusive platform. And that means that sometimes we do need to make some decisions which aren't agreeable with almost everybody. But at the end of the day, if it works for the health of the community, those are the decisions which need to be made. I will tell you that for the most part, I feel extremely grateful and fortunate that my paths have crossed with amazing people who have always had my back, and are volunteers over the past 20 years. People have been amazing in truly feeling the sense of community on PR, and helping to create a safe place. My absolute favorite series on Pattern Review, which we do every year, going on 13 years now, I think, or 12. 12, yes, is 12 days of giving thanks, in which we encourage members to post thank you to each other every single day. And then we have giveaways and prizes every single day, randomly picked. And so that's every day we go on to that topic. You can actually read this year's 12 days of giving thanks, which concluded before Thanksgiving. PatternReview.com/giving thanks. And it's things like that. I think kindness brings about more kindness, and gratitude is the only way to move forward. So I think maybe that is what helps. I'm not sure, to be honest, but I feel really happy that we're ending on this note, especially during this Thanksgiving break and Pattern Review's anniversary. So thank you for making Pattern Review what it is today. I am so grateful to you and our community. And I think that's all for today. Please let me know what you think of this format. My plan is to have Laura with me on some of the episodes, to have some guests answering more questions to the best of our ability. Maybe we'll do a behind the scenes and kind of on Pattern Review, how we do things, what we do. But mostly it's just a way to feel connected with you all. And because, like you, sometimes it gets a little isolating for me as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.